Hello and welcome, my fellow operatives. My name is the Nemesis James Taylor, and this is Chapter 9 of the Nemesis Sessions. My guest today, he is a former PWF World's Heavyweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the Irish Outlaw. Outlaw, welcome to the show. How
Thank
are
you
you
for
doing?
thank you for having me, James. I gotta say, these sessions have been wild. The last couple sessions, we had to sit through the boredom of Anthony Steele, who, by the way, I believe you're gonna dog walk in that street fight.
Okay.
And then we had the Las Vegas impersonator of Justin Bieber, Atomic Titan.
Oh, what's your take on him? What is your take on the TBW roster?
You know, as a person who's been watching TBW these last couple months, I have to say there is some interesting faces that I wouldn't mind stepping in the ring with, such as Ledger. I'd love to step in the ring with Ledger. Gage Flair. Hell, Nemesis James Taylor. That would be like to actually do it one on one, face to face would be something to see. I know the last time I stepped into ring as an actual in-ring competitor, not doing this kayfabe thing, I ended up having to cut my career short due to catching a major concussion. I have thus been like preparing myself for a possible in-ring return if I decide to go that route. And so, you know, while like certain people on this roster want to crack jokes and say I'm not capable of doing what they do,
Right.
trust and believe, cupcake I am.
He said cupcake. So, with that being said, some people are probably a little confused. Some of the audience, some aren't. But can you explain to some people, some of our audience, what's the difference between promo wrestling and actual wrestling? Because a lot of people are thinking, well, I mean, are you a wrestler? Or you're not a wrestler. So, can you give them a
Uh,
little bit of a explanation?
See, I get this question asked to me all the time via whether it's TikTok or Facebook. People who've seen me on TikTok doing this
Oh,
promo thing. Are you
I
an
think
actual
your
wrestler?
I think your mic's muted.
Can you hear me now?
All right, so no, I can't hear you. So what you need to do? Let's do this. I got an idea. I click on you. Hang on, edit. So what you need to do is I'm gonna take you out and bring you right back in. And then, can you hear me still? How about now?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
That's all it is. I just have to real. Okay. All I had to do. You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
All right, perfect. Go ahead and do what you were saying.
So basically, I get this question asked to me a lot, whether it's via TikTok, via Discord, Facebook, whatnot. What's the difference? Are you an actual wrestler? And I give them the brief. Promo wrestling is what us pro wrestling fans do via TikTok to have fun, escape reality. Enjoy our love for pro wrestling. And as far as pro wrestling is like literally like being face to face with your opponent inside that ring, squaring up with them, having an actual match. We do that, PWF, we had the simulation via 2K19, which kind of gave a realness to our promo battling thing, which was it was insane for the 9 months, 10 months, I believe that we had going, and I believe like I just have to put it out there. If anybody has questions about it, don't just go asking any old bloke. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
Ask people who have the insane knowledge of knowing what's the difference,
So
and
with all that being said, to give you an example, I have a little clip here, and it's kind of like, let's put you in the mindset of being the Irish Outlaw, just like I am. Nemesis James Taylor. What he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is we would do promos on TikTok. And because we couldn't physically be there to actually get in a ring and do a match like we do in TBW or like any other promotion, we would simulate it through storytelling by doing our promos. And then we'd either write out the matches and people would just read it. But for the fans at home, what I would do on this channel is show an actual game with our characters created and bring it to life. And then we would react off of that. And I want to take you back in character mode, mind you, real quick, to this moment right here.
Irish curse! Not done yet. Again! How about one more? The volume in this building has increased exponentially for the championship! What's it going to take to keep him down?
Yes,
but the world.
Oh, shoulders down. Championship on the line.
1, 2, 3.
There's the pin.
That right there was the first world heavyweight.
Don't wear a mask, and I don't hide. I'm lacing up tonight.
Well,
Tonight, gonna silence all your critics.
that moment right there was probably one of the biggest storylines I have ever gone through in my entire promo career. Peter Richards was, I'm not saying the Nemesis wasn't a mountain to climb, but for 6 months, like almost 6 months, me and Peter Richards would go back and forth, and it took that personal turn, and in the promo game. Now I want to explain to the people in the promo game compared to in life, actual wrestling. In the promo game, it's not like in a company where you just get the script or you have the promo in your head and you just go out there and hit it. No, there's a lot of, backstage, working with your opponent. Hey, is this okay? What lines do I not overstep? Now, Peter, at the time, had one of the most massive fucking egos I have ever seen on a man.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Mr. Amish, like I like to call him, Mr. Retirement now. Sitting on a couch collecting a PWF retirement fund check. But he was one of my biggest rivals, and if I could go back and I could run that rivalry again, you're guaranteed I would go another round with Peter Richards or the Buddhas or the Nemesis James Taylors, or I would do it all again because like my love for this business hasn't changed since day fucking one.
Oh, that's
and
good. So when that happened, having that feud with Peter, was that one of your most favorite times in promo wrestling, doing that? And on top of that, last question, the way I would do things by bringing our stories to life through the video game, do you still find that as one of the coolest things, or do you, in all your honest opinion, or do you think that's overrated now?
In all honesty, to answer your first question, Peter Richards, he brought out a side of me that he really made me work for that world championship. He brought out a side of me that I didn't think I had. And I would love to work with the man again. To answer the second question, bringing out the storylines, the story, making it build into that and bringing it to life. I can't say that's overrated because that is, pertaining to writing it out and seeing it play out it with your character on the game, and like there's no clear set who's going to come out on top in the game, to whereas you you kind of get a gist what's going to happen if you write it out.
Right.
You know, it brings out a whole new shock factor, really. Um,
So like that moment where you live
yeah, that
seeing your character in the ring fighting Peter Richards after everything y'all talked about, it's like y'all were really there but not. And then
yeah.
you wins the world title for PWF. I mean, world title in general, was that meaningful to you at all?
Winning the world title, it like, I'm not gonna lie, man to man, like when I won the world title, it brought me to tears, because I felt like
You finally
I felt like I've accomplished what I have set out to do. You know, the whole year and a half run that I had, clawing my way up to that point, and when I finally won it after 6 months of uh 6 months of going back and forth with Peter, while I hated embarrassing him in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in front of his friends and family,
yeah.
and putting him on the injured reserve list,
Uh-huh.
I had to do what needed to be done. And if he still has this God complex, then I wouldn't have any doubts in coming back to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and putting him down again. But you know, I know there's another man running around the promo universe right now with the same God complex,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, and I think you know him, Tim Hansen.
Oh yeah. Tell me about him.
Well, he's got this whole cerebral God persona going on right now,
Uh-oh.
and he thinks he's the biggest thing since Swiss cheese. Okay,
Don't you love ego? That's
and
about this business.
and then I guess now he has this group, One Night Stand, which is like a 50 Cent ripoff of the Elite Operatives.
Oh man, how many people's he got in it?
He's got 5. He's got Savage Machismo, Loki, Jared, which was at one time Maniac. I don't know what happened there, but and then you got a new guy who is fresh to the business, who I've taken under my wing, and he's kind of like a protege to myself. He goes by the name Venomous Ed. While right now, where I'm currently working in the promo industry, I'm in the world title picture. I've sparked a war with this One Night Stand. I'm bringing in new faces, into this promo business. I don't know what Anthony Steele was talking about the other night whenever he said I started my own company and it fell under, because let me tell you something, Anthony dipshit Steele. Okay, listen, HCW is still running, and it's in its 13th week, heading into its second week of its UK tour. All right, so
Okay.
if you think that my company's gone under, I think you need to get your brain checked. I think Nemesis has knocked a few brain cells loose inside that fucking noggin of his. But I when it's come to running a business, I've come to take after 2 individuals, and one of them was you, because I've learned a lot from you with running a business. And then I've taken the Kate. I've watched. I know Day Noah, right? And he has KCW, and I've taken a little bit of lessons of running, from both y'all. The way I see it, you both can run a pretty good damn company. If you didn't know how to run a damn company, PWF wouldn't have lasted as long as it did.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And there's speculation or rumors going around that PWF is dead. I don't think it's dead. I think it's on a hiatus.
And
and I'm here to tell you 100%, if PWF was to make a comeback, never say never, because the Outlaw can always make a return, because the Outlaw goes wherever he wants, whenever he wants. And oh, what's up, Joshua Allen? Hey, that must be that knockoff version of Jim Ross, right?
He's probably the best commentator in the history of the backyard world, and that's been thrown out a lot. The backyard world, backyard wrestling. Some people think backyard wrestling is trash. Where backyard wrestling, we're doing a new thing where we're trying to make backyard wrestling just as a
The
pro wrestling.
the backyard wrestling. You know, I cracked my jokes in the chat and whatnot, but you got to think backyard wrestling is where a lot of the backyard wrestling is where a lot of talented superstars in this business have come from.
Mm-hmm.
People like Nick Gage, people like John Moxley.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on. There's been a lot of top-notch superstars, and
Well, did it a little bit too, you know.
yeah. So because I have to call my mom so that I can log in. Well, all right. So my wife needs to go to work, so
Okay, so we'll go ahead. We'll end it right here as a part one, and we could continue with part two later today, if not tomorrow, for Irish Outlaw, since his time has to be cut short, unfortunately, today. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Irish Outlaw. We thank you for coming here, and we will talk to you soon, hopefully. And we'll
of
catch you
course.
down the road. Everybody subscribe and hit that like button to help Irish Outlaw so we can get some more people in here.
All right.